Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is Monday. We are blessed to have this opportunity to continue with the conversation, the normal conversation, of course, based on the political issues or political happenings which are currently in the Republic of Kenya. Not forgetting, today was a public holiday, Mashujaa Day, a day, of course, that we, the people of Kenya, remember or commemorate those leaders who fought in one way or another for freedoms and all the good things that we are enjoying in this country. Before I continue the conversation, allow me to take this opportunity to invite Mr. Meguda to say hi to our viewers. And before he comes, allow me to acknowledge the presence of Goodia at the comment section. Thank you so much, Goodia. And Meguda will speak on that. Allow me to also say a big thank you to Judith Carwetha 001, Team Gen Z, also here at the comment section. And Miguda, I'll give you a chance to say hi. Utuambie mashujaa yako imekuwaje, na vilevile naomba wale ambao wanatazama pale kwa comment section unaweza tuambia siku yako imekuwaje. How have you celebrated the Mashujaa Day and who is your shujaa? You can give us your take at the comment section. Miguda?
Okay, thank you, Makobura, for allowing me to come to the show. I want also to welcome to the show. And first, today was a Mashujaa Day. And today, overally, Raila Odinga Baba is my shujaa. I celebrated him today. And that is how it is. So, shujaa kwake hayati Raila Odinga for the good work we have done to this country. That was my shujaa today, and happy Mashujaa Day to all heroes and heroine into this country. I also want to welcome our good friend, Judith Carita, URL. Actually, I was in a conversation with Judith Carita before I come to this studio. We were discussing how the funeral is rooted in culture. And I think that discussion is postponed. We'll get in touch back after the studio. I also want to welcome James O'Connor, Goodia, to the show. And also want to appreciate Goodia for the support, actually, you have granted unto us. And I was like, you have been with us into this trying moment. Like I told you, we were mourning our hero, and we needed some logistics to move, like someone like me. I'm very grateful because you have supported me personally and also our friends. So as a channel, I want also to be grateful to you for your support. One of a kind. Makobura, back to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Meguda, for the good words. And I can see Goodia is saying that, hi, you are 001 Gen Z, just like 007 James Bond. And Judith here is also saying, how are you, my friend? Happy Mashujaa Day. Good year. Thank you so much. Allow me to also say happy Mashujaa to everyone who have joined us today. Not forgetting, of course, good year. Thank you so much for your consistent support that you've given to us. As a channel, we really appreciate for always acknowledging what we do over here. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. To our viewers, as usual, thank you so much for always finding time to join us and standing with us always. I now want to get into the topic. Ruto honors Raila with CGH as Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta visits the grave of the former Prime Minister who was laid to rest yesterday. And that is what we really want to look or to discuss this evening. And of course, I'll start with uh, what really does the scene mean. And again, I mean the visit by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to Raila's grave privately. That was today. And of course, President Ruto did confer Chief of the Highest, of the Order of the Golden Heart, that is CGH, on Raila Odinga today. And, I think, first of all, Mr. Miguda, I'll get into a brief. You can give us a brief of what you think about the president conferring Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart on Raila Odinga during the Mashujaa Day. And you can also give us a brief of what you think when the former President Uhuru Kenyatta visits Raila's grave privately today. What does that tell? I mean, what are we learning from that as a people? Good.
Thank you, Marco Burrow, for allowing me to come in. I just want to institute my statement by saying there was a certain soundtrack composer from West Africa, Nigeria. He composed a certain soundtrack which has been for a lifetime. And he said, you don't know when you enter this world, and you will not know the times you will get out of this world. So when you get an opportunity, kindly, you chop life. Chop life. That's Nigerian asset. So I want to say first, I'm grateful to Mr. President William Ruto. You know, William Ruto has done everything humanly possible to honor the departed hero, because the current president, that's what he's right to do. And today, by him conferring former Prime Minister highest honor in the land, that is the Order of the Golden Heart, CGH. People are saying, why are they appreciating him when he's dead? Or why could they award him when he was alive? Either way, it doesn't matter, because the order is order. And when people are referring to the history, they refer to him as Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, CGH, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya. So it's the same thing. If he was alive, he could not carry it. If he was alive, he could not carry it in his hand. So I think it's just part of honor. And then William Ruto just want to do that to prove to people that they were close allies. But today being a Mashujaa Day, what honor could he give to the departed hero? I think that it was good. And he tried to be a little bit too concerned to the departed hero. Culturally, as we have buried Raila, we are at liberty. We can do our politics. We can decide what to do and what not to do. And no one is going to control the narrative for people, because culturally, after we have buried the departed hero, now we are at liberty. Although we are still mourning, but things must move on. I just wanted to say what Uhuru did to Raila corpse or Raila remains today is one of a kind, because you find out everybody has departed upon the farm. Everybody has left upon the farm. Many people, but family was still in presence. And I don't know whether Uhuru slept at Opoda farm or Uhuru went to Eldoret or wherever, but actually he came back today. Remember, today was Mashujaa Day, my good people. And when today was Mashujaa Day, my good people, Uhuru saw it wise to celebrate one of the Shujas in the country, the recent one, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. By doing so, decided to go by his graveside and pay last respect or pay recent respect. And also he passed a message to the Almighty by praying on the grave of Raila Odinga to also show solidarity with the family And I still believe it's still celebration, one of a kind. And it shows that when we are buddies, of course, death is inevitable, but when you part away from my side, I should always come back to conform with your family or to select a family. You know, it should go beyond friendship and also to the family and extension. So whenever we have centered a fallen hero, people like Uhuru Kenyatta has now gone back. Significantly to me, it is because today was a Mashujaa Day, and instead of doing it as doing, so it was to where the remains of Raila were to lay into his final place. Makobura, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Migud, for giving us a clarification on your end. And of course, that brings me to this other segment where uh, what kind of symbolism or strategy is it? A symbolism versus a strategy, or what really is happening? And the move by the president, are these acts of conferring chief of the order of the Golden Heart to the late Raila Amolo Odinga a genuine tribute or a strategic move ahead of 2027, Mr. Migude?
Well, that's a very good question. How is it possible that I'm able to tell whether the president was genuine or not? You know, at my capacity, I'm not privy to understand the president heart or the president mind. It can be genuine or it can be strategic. Whether genuine or strategic, I have no problem with it. As for me, whatever they have done to Raila, I appreciate. And also, I appreciate big. Wherever it was a state funeral, state burial, whatever being awarded to CGH, Uhuru Kenyatta going back to the gravesite to pay last respect during the Mashujaa Day, very significant. So if Ruto was doing it just for the purpose of strategically, politically, or maybe he was just doing it for the sake of doing it or pleasing the Luo nation, that is up to him. We don't care. What is important that Raila Odinga has been given the fitting send-off, the great send-off. So whether he was doing them just for political strategies or whatever, that is not our business. As we are glad that he has been given a beneficent send-off of a person of his stature. And politically, people must sit down and talk now. So it doesn't matter what you do currently, but people will sit down and discuss the future of the politics of that region. And you understand, like the fanatic supporters of Baba, they know what to do and they will discuss that level. But we're just praying that people remain united because in unity, we find our strength. In unity, we find our strength. And it should go beyond the community and it should go up to national. And that's now I want to introduce my politics today since Baba left. Now, today I want to begin by politicizing. Makubura, we have said here, time that now that there's nothing wrong by people coming together tonight. Gachagua is currently uniting the people of Mount Kenya. People are complaining Gachagua and Kabila. No, first you must be united as a community. Then you come to the national table to negotiate. Currently, the local community must unite to find their strength. Because when they're not united, and Raila told people that through the unity of Luo, that is how he has been making it into politics. So the region must be united. Vis-a-vis, Mount Kenya must be united. Luya nation. Each nation should become a nation. There's not me. I don't oppose unity of a community. That is not tribalism. People unite, then you come and negotiate. When you are united, you can't negotiate when you are divided. And I just want to conclude by saying, former President Uhuru Kenyatta celebrated his friend at the graveside significantly, that he saw it wise that during this latest Shujaa Day, he had a duty to celebrate his friend at the graveside and the family. William Ruto saw it wise that at this disposal, he can use anything humanly possible to prove that Raila was his friend. So that is up to Ruto. And we are very much contented with anything they have done to Raila Odinga. And I just want to respond to the question here being raised by Goodyear. Goodyear is trying to understand the difference between Jamhuri and Mashujaa Day. Yeah, it's a bit tricky because Jamhuri Day, we celebrate self-internal rule whereby we got our independence. The day Kenya became a republic. And the sequences that led to our independence was as a result of Shuja's heroes. People fought, people were killed, blood was shed, the white colonizers were chased away by we, the people of Kenya. Then we achieved we were declared republic. Shujaa, therefore, came with a new constitution conception because we used to have Kenyatta Day, Moi Day, whatever day, whoever day, and we could not even had Raila Day. So I think the drafters saw it wise that instead of having different days for different heroes and heroine, let us merge them. We have Shujaa Day, and that is why we incorporate or integrate each and every person, be it a woman or a man of this nation. We are celebrating them on today. I think that's the response. Back to you, Makobura.
Okay, thank you. And thank you so much. Allow me to welcome good brother Benson over here. And brother Benson, how are you?
I'm
Tuambie.
doing fine. I don't know whether you can get me. Are you getting me clear?
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay, I'm fine, brother.
Happy Mashujaa Day. Siku yako imekuwaje na shujaa yako ni nani leo hii?
Siku yangu ijakuwa, naweza sema kwamba ijakuwa mbaya kwa sababu tumekuwa na shughuli mbalimbali. Tulikuwa na mkutano, hata saizi bado tuko kwa mkutano. Haya, nikasema nikuje nisalimie, niwasalimie. Na kwa kweli shujaa wangu ya leo naweza sema kwamba bado na mwenzi hayati Raila Amolo Odinga kwa leo.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to also take this opportunity to welcome our good friend Mr. Barak. Na Barak, habari ya leo? Happy Mashujaa Day. Unaweza tuambia siku yako imekuwaje na shujaa yako wa leo? Na celebrate nani ndugu yangu Barak?
Habari ya jioni wenzangu mkiwa kwa studio na watazamaji wote. Happy Mashujaa Day.
Happy Mashujaa Day.
Kwa sababu bado tuko katika hali ya kumsherekea shujaa aliyetuaga juzi. Kwa hivyo bado tutasema hafla yote ilikuwa ya kumkumbuka yeye Kwa hivyo naungana na pia na kauli ya kwamba ya kusema kwamba Raila ndiye shujaa wangu siku ya leo. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Barak. Thank you so much, Brother Benson. Thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. And Brother Benson and Miguda, what is your take on the two things that we are focusing on today? President Ruto confers the chief of the order of the Golden Heart on Raila during the Mashujaa Day. At the same time, the former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta visits Raila's grave privately today. And so the question I'm asking you, is this symbolic or a strategic move? Are these acts genuinely, the act by the president conferring Raila Amolo, the late CGH, is it a genuine tribute or a strategic move ahead of 2027? And again, what does it mean when rivals honor each other posthumously? I'll start with you, Mr. Brother Ben.
Okay, thank you, Makobura. When you come to politics, I think like yesterday we spoke about this, and the political class, they are friends. The politics is the order of the day. It's like their daily work that they do. So to me, I would say that when I'm looking at it politically, that friendship was there between Ruto and Raila. And again, um, when you look at what Raila has done, especially you look at the political landscape of this country and what he has contributed, I think it was in order, especially for what President Ruto has done, to give him that title, even in his death. Even if he could have been still alive and President William Ruto could have given it could have still been an honor. An honor is an honor. There is no way, whether you say that you honored somebody during his death or you honored it when he was still alive, it is still a history. So it has also reminded us that even in the history, even in his death, the Right Honorable Prime Minister is still making waves and still getting such like honor. So we would say that thank you to Mr. President for doing that, because we know sometimes you might be having um, different political views with the president, but when somebody has done something good, we have to say and to congratulate him, the president, for doing that, even for all that he has accorded Raila. And if you remember what Orengo said yesterday, it is something that, when you look at the region where the Raila comes from, especially the Luo Nation, such like even a state burial is something that they've never experienced. Remember Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who was the vice president, in his death, he did not experience that, you know. So I think for the president is a good for him, and politically is good. He's relevant in politics because, as I told you, president is having what we call the incumbency politics. And the incumbency politics is one of the difficult politics that can face the president or can face any other person. Because remember, president wants to get his second term. And if he wants to get his second term, he has to look around and say, where can I garner those votes? Knowing very well that if you look at it politically, look at the relationship between him and Rigathi Gachagua, looking at the central Kenya, where will he get those votes? What the votes that he got during the 2022 general election? Yeah, he got them from central Kenya. But is he having good terms with the central Kenya? No. Currently, we would say, currently as we speak, Rigathi must be having an influence in central Kenya. That is one. So you're looking at it and where, so he's looking at where can I get these votes? And he has to come to Raila. They signed MOU with Raila. And Raila that they signed MOU with is no longer with us. He has gone to, is buried now, and president has to try his level possible. And how can I make sure that I consolidate the base of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga? And that's why even yesterday you heard him saying very well that he is going to make sure that the ODM does not go into the position or warn those people who will try to take ODM out of the government. So he's very keen on what he's doing. First, by knowing very well that this is an incumbency, I have to fight to make sure that I get my second term. And I also have to do things that if I do them, will make sure that the base of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga is happy with what I'm doing. Um, yeah, you know, this is what I in my community, honoring the dead when you had that chance to honor him or her during their life, like going to funeral, view the body, and burst into laughters. Okay, so there's people will have different views, and we can appreciate also the views of Ayaga. Now, come to President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I would want to look it into two perspectives. I think in terms of friendship, yeah, the friendship between the Right Honorable Prime Minister and Uhuru Kenyatta could have been deeper than what we thought. And if you are keen enough, to me, I would say that the former president might have spent his night at Bond. That is what I think, because like even yesterday, remember, he was so much relaxed at the burial site that day. He was greeted by the president, but he was just seated down, relaxed. And even if you remember what Mama Ida said, that of all the friends of President Raila, he appreciated them, but he mentioned one person, that was Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And it tells you how deep this family was. Another perspective that I'm looking at, remember, immediately the president was given an opportunity to leave. When the president left, the security that was around that area might have scaled down, and you saw how the mourners breached the security and came. So I feel during that time, maybe Mama Ida and the president, the former president, were escorted from the place. They did not see the ceremony until the end, So by then, as a friend, he might have touched President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and said that, okay, let me go and give my last respect to the man that I really cherish, to the man that is my friend. And you would see from the look of things that the way he prayed and raised the hand were towards the grave. So that is something that also I learned. Something also I learned in President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, again, going today with his family to pay last respect to Raila Amolo Odinga. I think it also in the family ties, these people, the President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and the Uhuru's family, they might be having a bond that beyond us understanding. And this now confirms about the Uji that president was talking about, that this Uji was real. It was not that Uji that, you were talking about. This Uji might be a real Uji. And for that, I think President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will get more credit of what he did today than other Raila Odinga friends. That is my take.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Brother Benson. And Mr. Barak, what is your take on President Ruto conferring the Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart on Raila Amolo Odinga, the late, during today's Mashujaa Day? And again, we saw the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta visits Raila's grave privately. That is today. And my question to you is this symbolic symbolism or versus a strategy, or what exactly is happening? Are these acts genuine tribute or strategic move ahead of 2027? And again, you can also give us your take on what you think. What does it mean when rivals honor each other posthumously? Brother Barak?
Post what? I do not hear your last word.
Oh,
Rivals honored
you
each
want
other post.
posthumously. I think that is the right pronunciation.
Don't compete with Professor PLO Lumumba.
That.
I think Brother Ben has really dealt with the issue of Uhuru Kenyatta visiting the Raila's grave, and also Ruto honoring Raila, which I think those were just specific answer to specific answers to specific question. Because there is no lesser honor or higher honor. Honor and honor is just an honor. And let me just now talk. We were speaking about Uhuru being strategic. Uhuru is a retired president, and there is nothing much as an individual that he's seeking in politics, apart from maybe handing over his leadership of Jubilee to another person to try to compete in the next election. Now, let me talk about you are saying that rivals honoring each other. There's no rivals after election. Rivalry is only during election. After election, these guys are colleagues. And I think that is what even many people are not getting up to now. Yeah. If Raila Odinga and William Ruto are calling each other's name towards 2022 election, and after election, they had some skirmishes here and there. And after a few months, they became colleagues. You saw the meeting, Museveni in Uganda. You heard yesterday, Obasanjo saying that they had a meeting in Mombasa. And after there, they were calling each other brothers and visiting each other, eating together. Na we bado umeshika hasira kwa roho mpaka leo. You must have a problem. We must be serious as citizens. I think that's why I was saying yesterday, we are the problem in this country, not politicians. Because we allow our emotions to make us not to reason as human beings. Because if these people you are calling rivals are visiting each other and eating together, sharing meals, sharing uji, sharing what, and unawe umeshikilia hapo ati no, you cannot be my rival na unakuja ufanye nini? These guys are not rivals, they are business partners. Tutasema hii mpaka lini? These guys are colleagues. Yeah, they are political elites. They are eating together. They are eating life with big spoons together. Yeah. And that's why someone was given a chartered plane to take them to seek medication any part of the world. So don't see these people as rivals. That is where the problem is. See them as colleagues. See them as best of friends. See them as political elites who share the same interest. During campaigns, they will use all manner of words against each other. And you've seen this before in 2022, in 2017, in 2013. These guys go after each other's throat during campaigns. And after elections, they somehow find a way of working together. Yeah. And you'll realize that they work together. Then when election is nearing, they now start going separate ways. And they divide the people again. Then after election, they look for each other and they continue. So I will not say that rivals honoring each other, but say that colleagues, understanding the contribution of their colleagues, they decided to give them the honor that they deserve, because they know the contribution of each other in the political arena of this country. They know the impact that each other have in the political arena. Therefore, Ruto was just doing the right thing to his colleague. Yeah. And remember, he said that this guy was his political mentor. And if you remember what happened in this country between 2005 and 2007, you'll know that it is really Raila Odinga who made Ruto to become a force to reckon with, even in the politics of Rift Valley. Yeah. So they know all these things, and even when they are calling each other name in the media and in campaigns, when they retreat back in their closet, they discuss behind us. Yeah. Because they know what they are looking for. And once they get what they are looking for, they take care of the interest of their colleagues. Yeah. So that wewe unaona ni kama huyu mtu kwa baridi na kumbe wanakula pamoja. Yeah. So I think that is what I can say about that. I will not refer to politicians as rivals. I'll always refer to them as colleagues and elites who share the same interest. Back to you, Mark.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Barak, for giving us your take. And maybe Meguda, before we get to the next, the next segment, What is your take? How do Kenyans interpret these gestures? Are these healing or political theaters that we are seeing the politicians playing at their level best? Miguda.
Okay, how Kenyans now gonna interpret all these games? That's now individual perspective. Like I've told you, sometimes not that I underrate some Kenyans. No, even me, I'm just an ordinary citizen. I'm ordinary Kenyan. I'm a very much ordinary Kenyan. I'm very humble Kenyan. But if you have time, just try to get to be where these elites are, and spend even a month or two or a year. I've been with these elites. I told I will side with them, and there's like people are saying. Let me just want to give one example. Sometimes you can find that your opponent has been assassinated, but you are not aware. Your handler has done the job. They brief you. Let me tell you two examples. When James Kariki was killed, if you go now into details, you find out that the handlers did it. When Ouko was killed or assassinated, the handlers did it. I want to leave you at that point. If you have understood me, you have understood me. If you haven't understood me, you have understood me. These people are colleagues. These people, it is beyond what you are seeing. These people. That's why I told you, don't be surprised when you find out that Gachagua will not through. Very much possible. Very much possible. So what I want to say, what you have said according to the games. To me, I don't see that what Ruto did is wrong. That is the best he could do at his capacity as the president to the departed hero. Because the departed Shujaa died unexpected. People never anticipated that he was going to die. So he's dead. What do? You accommodate his remains, whatever you can do at that capacity. And even if you go to that extent, the departed hero deserves everything he was done to. He deserves them. Yeah, he deserves. He was the people's president. So I just want to say, I want to conclude by saying, to me, personally, it's different. It's how what Benson perceives is not what I perceive. What Barack perceives is not what I perceive. But to me, I don't see anything wrong to award him the highest honor, CGH, because even when he was alive, what could he do with the CGH? It's just an honor. And when you go to the history, we find oh, Raila was a CGH. So he's a CGH when he's dead or when he's alive. And also, Uhuru Kenyatta going to the grave site today. To me, I can just conclude by saying, these people, maybe some people do not know, these people are friends. They are friends. They are friends. And let me give last example, Makobura, so that I can conclude my statement for further explanation. In the last 3 months, there was an ongoing exams at the diaspora and foreign affairs ministry. And my cousin was the one who was lecturing the students. And my cousin has done international studies. So when I contacted him to discuss our whereabouts, I find out that I asked him, how many colleagues are you having? And he confirmed to me that he's handling like 30 students. So I was like, out of 30 students, demographically, how many are in terms of tribe in this country? And they report to me that out of 30 students, there were only 2 Lugos. And these 2 Lugos are not Lugos who were born here. They are American citizens, and even the son of Sudi was in that class, and there were like 21 Kalenjins. and so I just want to I want you to understand these things, and most of them were son to these elites. So I went ahead and asked him, so is it broader? He told me no. It is in the exterior part of it, it is broad-based government, but interior, it is not a broader. What am I trying to explain to our viewers that these people are not enemies. When there's an opportunity, they call each other. So I requested my cousin to also, if I can handle the exams, but I was not given an opportunity because I'm not part and parcel of the elites. But if I could be an elite, I could have get an opportunity. So outside, we perceive them to be enemies. And if you happen to reside with them, you will know what's happening. Someone will just take advantage of the situation is going to us, the average citizens and humble citizens, so that he can influence us to disturb the proposal. For instance, people don't like this. Wanjigi, Raila died when he was not in good terms with Wanjigi politically. Wanjigi has been in opposition with Willie, Wakili Willie. And Raila has been in Brobe's government. But what happens when Baba died? Wanjigi was part and parcel of the family. Wanjigi was part even during the send-off, he was awarded the family. So what I'm trying to say is that these people are not enemies.
Miguda, I don't know whether your mic is dropping. I don't know.
Let me conclude and say Wanjigi was part and parcel of the family, and actually Wanjigi was in the family tent. That's where Wanjigi was seated. But Raila died when they were enemies politically. So don't take it that when I'm on camera, don't take it that when I'm on camera, but back at home, like let me give you last example. I'm just dropping. Do you know when Raila wanted to be sworn in 20, I don't know the year, I think post 2017 election, when Raila wanted to be sworn in. But then there was Attorney General of this country by the name Gideon Muigai. Gideon Muigai was very categoric that if you try to swear in yourself, we're going to charge you the treason. But do you know what? The immediate neighbor of Raila Odinga, the current resident, is Gideon Muigai. So, my friend, this politics, don't take it to be personal. Just treat it as politics. But so do not believe that when Raila was awarded CGH or whatever the grave site, it is beyond what you think.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Miguda, for giving us that detailed explanation. And Brother Ben, Raila's legacy and the CGH honor. What does the CGS represent? Barack will go first, maybe. What does the CGH represent, and why is it significant that Raila received it? And how does this reshape Raila's image from opposition leader to the national hero? Is this a turning point in how Kenya honors political discernment? Since Barack is a professional in the field of political science, I would want him to go first and partly give us a detailed explanation on the relevance of CGH and what it represents, the significant, and why it is significant that Raila received it. Uh, Brother Barack? Barack, are you there?
Yes.
I don't know whether you got my question.
You're asking what is CGH or?
Okay, this is my question. I repeat.
Yeah.
Uh, what does the CGH represent, and why is it significant that Raila received it? I know you are an expert in the political science, and these titles, they have a significant meaning, and what they really represent. So if you can give us what really the CGH represent and why it was significant, and again you can also just tell us how does this, of course, reshape the image of Raila Amolo Odinga from, remember, he was in the opposition leader and now he is a national hero. And again, is this a turning point in how Kenya honors political dissents, Mr. Barak?
Well, thank you for that. First of all, CGH is simply means the Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart, and it is the highest honor that is that can be conferred to any civilian in this country. So the Raila get receiving this, it means that he has received the highest honor that civilians can get in this country. And remember that honors in this country are awarded politically. So it really does not matter sometimes because you remember there's a day when that Githeri man was given OGW, Order of Grand Warrior. So you find that there are some honors that even if you look at those honors that were awarded today, you'll realize even that more than 90% are politically influenced. But now Raila being awarded this honor, it's unfortunate that he's being awarded when he's already dead. And I think sometimes I agree that we need to honor our heroes when they're still alive, so that they can see how we value them and how we value their contribution. Awarding him in his death, okay, it's just an honor. But in terms of saying that it's going to be a turning point in Kenya on how we honor our politicians, that is not the case because our politics is really very interesting because we do everything with the aim of advancing our political interest and political agenda. So you'll find that even when Jaramogi died, he was denied a state funeral, not because he didn't deserve it, but because of the politicians of the day, those who are leading the government of the day. They saw no need. For example, let me ask you, if Raila could have died in 2013 before waelewane na bwana president, are you sure angepata hiyo state funeral? Or even between 2013 and 2017, when he was always at loggerhead with the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, kuna wakati hata alienda kuatenda I don't know if it was Mashujaa Day or it was Madaraka Day in Nyeri 2017. Just go to YouTube and check. He was not given an opportunity even to say hi to the people who attended that celebration, and it was the last state function before 2017 election. Uhuru, they did not even recognize his presence in that meeting. So that shows you that things, politicians in this country, those who are leading, holding these positions of leadership, they most of the time they make decisions based on how they want to advance their political interest. It's like that's basically for political expediency. So I don't think if this is going to be a turning point of how we honor our heroes, because even to date, even after Raila receiving this honor, there are people who still believe that it was not okay for him to be given that, and they're just in our politics. Because according to their own interpretation, this guy was one of the worst people that ever lived in this country. But now, according to those who are now in power right now, he was the one of the best. You hear Ruto saying he's a consequential son of the soil. So if another president maybe could have been in power today, he could have been seeing these things differently. And you just saw that even one of the opposition leaders totally refused even to go to pay to visit the family during this difficult time. And this is someone who millions of people are supporting. He is their political leader right now. So it shows you how we operate our politics in this country. It's so divisive and in a way that cannot really give you a true reflection on what will happen. That is why I still believe that this will not, it's just for the sake of Odinga, that's all. If there's another thing happen in future, decisions will be made depending with who is who in that day, who will be holding the instruments of power, who will be making decisions on the government. So it is really based on, it is really based on the person who is leading at that specific time. But it does not interpret that now it's going to cut across all our political landscape going forward. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Barak. And I'll get to Brother Benson. And maybe, Brother Benson, what is your take on on Raila's legacy and the CGH honor? What is your take? How do you understand this CGH, and what is the significance? Is it really significant that Raila received it? And of course, how does this reshape Raila's image? Is it, of course, a turning point in how Kenya honors political dissent, or what exactly does it mean, Brother Ben?
I don't think. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes, I can hear you. Proceed.
To me, politically, or if you look at it, cannot change the Raila's image. Nowadays, we cannot talk about Raila's image right now. We are talking about Raila legacy. There's nothing that it can change about Raila legacy. What Raila has played in Kenyan politics is going to be what it has been. Maybe this is just one of the literature that will be added on his legacy. But even changing the Kenyan politics, I don't think so. Because there are quite a number of people, as Barak has said, that there are quite a number of people who have made up their mind. And what they've made up their mind on, you cannot change that. But there's also those who have also made up their mind on what the president has done that you cannot change. But in terms of changing the image or the legacy of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Raila Odinga the late, I don't think so. But this can shape the politics. And how is it going to shape the politics? It's going to whip the motion of the people. And in terms of looking at the president, and we'll say that, okay, what the president has done, and this one has fallen in a good path of the president, I would say politically, because everything that has happened from the time the Right Honorable Prime Minister was pronounced dead to everything that the president has done and what the president has continued doing politically is building his political and is convincing the supporters and those who believed in Raila Odinga that the president is doing everything possible to honor the man that they cherish and the man that they love and the man that was their politics. And if you can remember, people have said that Raila, everybody, including us here, majority of us and analysts, people have always quoted the school of politics of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. There's something that everybody has learned from him in terms of politics. There are those who have just loved the politics because of Raila Odinga. Because when you look at the politics of Raila Odinga, it is a politics that nobody can play right now. I call it the art of politics of Raila Odinga, starting with what we call peace. Raila was calling for peace. And how was he maintaining the peace? The only time that the peace will be there, if you work with Raila, that's when you're going to get peace. And that's why even when Uhuru Kenyatta realized that he cannot work by himself, he had to go to Raila so that he could experience peace. So it tells you that the art of politics of Raila Odinga was that he was the person who was holding the key of the peace. So for you to get that peace, you have to come for that peace. And how do you come for that key? You come to him. That is one. Then you also look at him in terms of the center of power. Remember, Raila is the only opposition leader that we are talking about today that has gotten the state party. That is one. Raila is the only opposition leader that when the negotiation or people are having a conversation on how to create peace, it's called the core principle. And what do we mean by the core principle? A core principle, it means that both of you share the same power. So which means Raila himself was a power of its own, was a president, without, I would say that a president without a portfolio, but with powers, that controls. So with being given this honor or not given this honor, that his legacy is not going to change. His legacy will not change the art of his politics, but will change how people will do their politics. The one for Raila Odinga will always be the Raila Odinga's politics, the art of politics. But the people even who would say that we want to do like Raila Odinga does his politics. That's why even in the funeral, every politician was talking about we want to emulate or we want to achieve what Raila did. They were wrong. They cannot. They are lying to themselves. All those speeches, those you heard saying that we want now to do what Raila was doing. Because even when Raila was alive, they could not do it. So tell me, in his death, will they do it? And if you look at even the politics of Raila Odinga had what we call the politics of sacrifice. If he wanted something, he could sacrifice you in a way that sacrifice your political career, and he gets what he wants. And who will be ready to do that? You cannot do that. So Makobura, I don't think this is going to change his image or is going to change his legacy, but is going to add the literature. When you're talking about Raila Odinga, you will say at some point, President William Ruto conferred to him that honor. That's what I think.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Benson, and for giving us that your take. Allow me to have a discussion again on Uru's visit. Was it a personal or political? And I'll come to you, Mr. Buddha. I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh, do you want me to
Yes.
continue on Uhuru?
Allow me to put the question, then you can continue, Brother Ben, and then you let Miguda give his take.
Okay.
So my question is, of course, Uru's quiet visit to the grave, what message does it send? And you can also reflect on their complex relationship. Remember the handshake, remember the fallout, remember the reconciliation. At one point, they were not seeing eye to eye, they had political fallouts, and then they reconciled, and then the end handshake came. Does this signal a softening of political rivalries or repositioning of
Okay. Makobura, can you check?
alliances?
Makobura.
Brother Benson, you can give us your take on that.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me just give you a take. And Makobura, if you're a keen study of politics, you have to study the political terrain or the political waters of Kenya. And you look at how does it play out. Barack has really elaborated so well about the political elite. Everything that is happening, even in the public, they have the behind scenes. What we are given something that has been scripted and brought to us in the public, especially for us to feel that even the unity that is being told that now we need to get united as Kenyans. Kenyans have always been united. But now let's go to the Uhuru Kenyatta visiting the grave. I talked to it about earlier. One, this one signifies a true friendship and a genuine friendship that the President Uhuru Kenyatta had with Raila. There's something also that Miguda mentioned, especially about when Raila saw himself in as the people's president. If in a country that he could have been charged, what Miguda was saying, that give them a gun, he could have been charged with the treason. Even by then, the people who were not in their side, that is what they were calling for. But what did Kenyatta did? There's nothing that President Kenyatta did. But of course, Miguna was the casualty. After that mock swearing in, Miguna was the casualty of everything. But the Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta, nothing happened. They came up and shook hands. So it it is just a normal for a friendship. And also we have to look at it. Bandra also mentioned something. You know, Uhuru is in politics, but he's in politics behind the scenes because he has a party that they're also confronting, somebody to lead that party. By then, it's kind of like trying to show us that even if he proposed somebody, if he proposed somebody, somebody might believe in him. Because remember, even Ruto, when Ruto was running for presidency, there was cautions that Uhuru put that about the presidency of William Ruto, and he was urging people to give Raila or vote for Raila, that this Mzee to take care of you. You remember those? And later people came to realize that, oh, we wish we could have listened to Uhuru. And today then Uhuru Kenyatta also is coming out and showing us the compassionate and telling us the friendship and telling that, okay, these people are friendship. And if we say that, okay, now, this is what I want you. I want you to let us go this way. People might go through that way based on what he has done. Because remember, Raila Odinga has his own fan base that really believes in him. By him going and doing that after everybody has left and going by graveside again, that is very, very significant in terms of plotting. The followers and the people who love Raila Odinga, if you even go to the comment section, they love what Uhuru has done. And some people say that Baba has left us and he has now left us with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta based on what he has done. So politically, it has created some emotions. Like our politics is all about those emotions, creating those emotions. So I feel that was very significant. If Uhuru will propose somebody with the gestures he has shown, some of the Raila Odinga strong supporters might say that, okay, we go with Uhuru because it was genuine to Baba.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Benson. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Tharosa. Tharosa is saying that literature for lecturers and students. I teach history. That will form some juicy political history class. Okay. Thank you so much for finding time to join us.
Makubura.
Yes.
My friend here is talking about law that states, but when you go to election, what usually happens is that immediately the winner is declared, the runners-up or the second person remains obsolete, and which means the people are the people who are giving you the mandate to be the president through voting, So even if there's no law, and Miguda will assist us here, even if there's no law, but provided that you are not declared by the body that is constitutionally, that is given the power by the Constitution, then that one alone, you are going against the law, because there's a body that has been mandated to declare you the winner and give you the certificate for you to be that president. So maybe Miguda can assist us here.
So, Makubura, should I begin? Let me explain this, then I'll continue. Let me explain this, then I'll continue what you asked me. But so it depends on how anybody can understand it. Our constitution is very clear. First, it was termed as mock swearing in. Why was it termed as mock swearing in? Because it was unconstitutional. That's why later it was okay. That was just a mock swearing in. Because if it was a genuine swearing in, there could be consequences. And what Odinga did and the team, they work on with the people. All the power belongs to the people, and the people shall exercise it directly. So the people decided, and also they incorporated Article 37, the right to assemble. So the people took the power by themselves, then they assembled. after they have assembled at Uhuru Park, now they decided they decided to swear in Raila Odinga. But remember, also, when you look at the supremacy of our constitution, it's very clear that the constitution is supreme, and any process, or let me just be, the constitution is supreme to an extent that any government formed contrary to the provision of this constitution or attempt, it is null and void. So it should be formed in accordance with the constitution, and there shall be no process that can be done contrary. What does the constitution state? The constitution is very clear on the swearing of the president. You understand that the president must be sworn in in the presence of the chief justice and the register of the judiciary, the register, and of the presence of chief justice, not Migona and the people. So those people, they act on Article 1, Article 7, but there were some omissions because first, who declared Raila? Raila was never declared the president. So how do you swear him someone was not declared? Also, who was swearing him? Migona. So he says Migona, the mandated body to swear the president. To me, I think it was contrary to the provision of the constitution. That's my own interpretation. But it depends on how you take it. I just want to say, when Uhuru was seen at the graveside of Raila Odinga today, me, I don't see why people are complicating these issues. Maybe it is not culture or culture. Even those people do not get an opportunity to go to Bondo. You are at liberty to visit the gravesite even in January, even next year, and it will be visited for eternity, generation to generation. We never saw Jaramogi, but we have been going to conquer Jaramogi. So Uhuru demonstrate that to me. I still want to hang on my point. Uhuru said, like, today was holiday in this country for visitors, and today we are celebrating Shujas. It was Mashujaa Day. So, at my capacity, I have decided to go and celebrate my Shujaa Raila Odinga. And the fact that we buried him yesterday, and I'm around in Bondo here, why can't I go to his graveside and pay him the respect? So Uhuru did not do anything wrong by going to the graveside to have a prayers and also celebrate Shujaa. Raila is a Shujaa. For those people who do not know, he is a Shujaa. He's a hero. There are things you cannot write off. And when Uhuru went there, he went there like you are at liberty. You know, when you are at coast, celebrating when we at coast celebrating Shuja's Day, I think last year, we were saying Mekatili Wampenza. So we decide if you are in Mount Kenya, you can begin by saying Jomo Kenyatta, GM Kariuki. And when you are also in Nyanza, you can say Jaramogi Odinga. So when the former president was in Nyanza, we went to celebrate two Shujas, Jaramogi and Raila. So I think that is what happens to former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Makubura.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. And I'll give this chance to Brother Barak. Brother Barak, what is your take on Uru's visit? Is it a personal or is it political? Considering the fact that he did visit it in a quiet manner, and of course, you can also give us on while reflecting on their complex relationship that they used to have. Some few years ago, they had fallen out, and then reconciliation, and then handshake. And my question to you is: does this signal a softening of political rivalries, or is it a repositioning of alliances? And maybe something else that you can also give your take on, Brother Barak, is the future. briefly, you can give us the future of the position politics, specifically who steps up after Raila? Is ODM ready for transition? Will the opposition fragment or evolve? And what kind of leadership does Kenya need now that Raila Amolo Odinga is not there? And as well, before you finish, Brother Barak, you can also give us your take on what should Kenyans, what should Kenyans take away? Are we entering a more mature political era? Can symbolic gestures lead to real unity and reforms? The symbolic gestures that we're seeing from our senior political class. And again, what role should Kenyan citizens play in shaping the next chapter? That is the question I'm bringing forth to you, Brother Barak. And Miguda, you'll also pick on the same, and then you'll give us your final remarks. Thank you. Barak?
Okay. Before Barak comes, let me respond to this one, which one Tarosa said here. And let us just be a little bit keen. No one said Raila committed treason. I think this was Benson's point. Let me assist to Flo. Benson said very clearly that there was a threat by the state that if you dare to swear in yourself, it is treasonous. We are going to charge you the treason. But Raila said, if that's the case, I will go. Not that whatever he did was a treasonous. The state was the one who said that if you dare to swear yourself into this country, you are going to take the treason. So what happened here? The reason why it was not treasonous, and the reason why they were saying so, because we also told them that the fact that treason is a capital offense and the treason in the penal code, now that is what you are asking me. I'm referring to the penal code. It's very clear that treason, when you imagine or you think or you attempt or you plot to get rid of the president's information or to in a way that is treasonous and you are being charged with the treasonous. But Raila did not have any imagination to remove the president who was in office. He was saying, I'm swearing myself as the people's president. And that's why he was very close. So, not that he committed treason, not that the penal code was applicable to him. We're just saying there was a threat by the state that we are going to charge the treason, but it was never charged because they could not substantiate whatever they were suggesting. So I think there's a distinction whereby there's a treason from the penal code if you committed whatever capital offense, but there's an act by Raila, because Raila said that he swore himself based on two provisions: the sovereignty of the people and the freedom of assembly. So people can assemble, and that sovereign power, they can swear in their president. And it was very specific, the people's president, not the president of the Republic of Kenya. So there's a little bit of distinction. So you cannot point out that the specific law that Raila was charged with the treason. I think that's like, I will try to explain more as we, Barak coming.
Umenichanganya. I don't know. Mark asked a very good question, but let me
May I
just try
repeat
to
the
respond to
questions?
the ones that I remember. First of all, you asked
I repeat
that.
the questions.
No, it's okay. Let me just proceed because of time. You mentioned that whether Uhuru's visit was personal or political. I think that was personal. Remember, Odinga and Jaramogi, Jaramogi and Kenyatta were long-time friends before things fell apart in their political life that affected their friendship. But remember, their family maintained that friendship. And I don't know if you've read history, that even when Uhuru Kenyatta was joining parliament in 2001 as a nominated member of parliament, It is the likes of Raila Odinga who really embraced him and welcomed him, showed him the corridors of parliament. And when he was sworn, he was appointed as the minister for local government, just to give him that political visibility. Those who are celebrating his appointment were the likes of Raila Odinga. So their friendship dates from very long time ago, before even all of them joined politics. And remember, that is what has been holding them together. So when you see them, maybe during Uhuru's regime, and they were differing in public, it did not really mean that these guys are enemies. That is the image that they were selling to us, that these guys are enemies. But in the real sense, those guys were buddies. And if you look at if you look at the chemistry between them during the handshake era, the famous handshake era, you could see that these guys are not struggling to interact. They are not faking anything. It was just organic, that frame. And that's why you see Uhuru has really lost not just a Uji friend, but a personal friend where they share great ideas. And remember, Uhuru used to say that because of the ideas that he used to get from Raila, he made several projects possible, including upgrading of Uhuru Gardens, even restructuring of or reconstructing of facelifting of Uhuru Park, and even during the Express project. Yeah. So so these guys they had more than just politics. And what I know is that they also business partners, and those guys have done big together, the two of them, and so they were having more than just politics. So that aside, you ask about what if who will step into Raila. I know leaders will. Nobody was born to live forever. That is what we must also acknowledge. Great leaders are born, but because they are mortals, it reaches a time when their body wears out and they have to pass on. So other leaders will emerge, but don't expect someone like Raila, because Raila was just one, and we cannot have another Raila again. Because remember, even Jaramogi was just Jaramogi, and when Jaramogi died, many those were asking themselves, now who will speak on our behalf? Who will protect our interest? Are not seeing that another person will emerge. But remember, Raila emerged and even did so many things and even he surpassed what Jaramogi did, and now he's no more. So another leader will emerge, because that is how life is. Once you finish your time, your contribution to this world, you transition to the next life. Life must continue for those who are left behind. Yeah, we cannot mourn forever because someone has died. Even in your family, I know you've lost someone in your family at one point. Life did not stop for the family members who remained. Life continued, and people emerged among the people who are available, who are still living in this country. So I don't think that even if we have a vacuum, that vacuum will last forever. Someone will just fill that vacuum, and that is how life. Even if you look at how when Kenyatta died, it was a great sorrow in the country, because people were thinking, now the founding father is dead. How will we survive? Kenya survived, and right now we have president number 5 since Jomo Kenyatta. So it shows you that life must continue. Leaders will emerge. His opposition leader will emerge. Even those who are in government, those who feel that he was contributing in government, people will emerge to fill that vacuum. So just make sure that if you contribute your part when you're still alive in this country, because nobody was destined to live forever. What can wananchi do? I don't know if you asked about wananchi. I think in terms of maturity in politics, we talked about maturity in politics. What is maturity in politics? I think that is very important. If we can have that clear definition, what is being mature politically means. Because even if you look at the American politics, being the what is referred to as the mature democracy, and where we borrowed almost everything from in terms of our governance structure. If you look at how they are conducting their politics lately, can you define that as mature? So I don't think really there is we can agree on a proper definition of maturity in politics. because I think in a democratic society, people should differ in a mature way where you don't go personal and you don't you don't insult anybody who is not sharing your opinion. But that is the opposite, because in this country, if you're not sharing the same opinion with me, it will mean that I will insult you from morning to evening. If I wake up in the morning and start insulting you because we don't share the same political opinion, that is not democracy. That is why I think we don't really need to do some civic education of what democracy really is, because democracy is allowing anybody to have their own political opinion, but also respecting the fact that we can differ politically in our terms of opinion. That's why we go out there to vote. We vote because all of us cannot agree on one candidate, so we settle that with votes. But you cannot be, if I don't vote for your candidate, then I am a fool. I am stupid. I should not believe. So that is why we are having problems, even in nurturing the democracy in our country. Because even if you look at, if those who look at right now in those who are supporting Ruto and those who are not supporting Ruto, or even those who are supporting Sifuna and those who are supporting Gladys, they are spending all the day insulting each other on social media, because the other person feels that Sifuna is right, the other person feels it is Gladys is the one who is right, and the other person feels that then if Sifuna is right, then anybody who's against Sifuna is a fool. So how can you define that as maturity? Because I don't believe that you can have a different opinion. So in terms of maturity, I think we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go, because even in terms of democracy, I don't think we really understand what democracy is all about. If you believe in democracy, then defend my opinion, defend my right to air my opinion. Do not gag me because I have a different opinion with you. That is the challenge here. And you can see even those who are in leadership position, they are claiming they're Democrat. But if you're the opposite side, then you are a target for all manner of attacks. So in terms of maturity, let me just leave it there. Back to you, Mark. I don't know if I've left another question out. You can remind me.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Barak. I'm quite sure you've given, you've answered my all questions. Maybe Miguda would also give us his version of the same, and then Barak will give us his final remarks, followed by Miguda. Miguda.
I just want to focus on the people, not the other one, because now in a democratic space, the people are very vital, because democracy itself is that the people rule. It is a rule of the people. And when you include the people to rule, there is some principles of democracy, like majority rule, minority have their say. And there are types of democracy, that direct, and liberal democracy. And in our context, I can just say the people can have a decision. Some people have made a decision, but some people still have time to make a decision. It doesn't matter what you do to the people. If the people have made a decision to vote for you, they will vote for you. If they have made a decision not to vote for you, they won't vote for you. And then the fact that a majority of the people have decided that they're going to vote for you doesn't mean that you are going to win the democratic space, because maybe your majority is my minority. The region is perceived to be popular and you have more votes, but you haven't gone to my region. And up to that extent, I can just say, in our context as the Kenyan people, we can just do our politics. But what matters is that the people will influence the outcome of the election. So the decision that we make as the people are what is going to reflect the outcome of the election. It doesn't matter what might be done to the people or what might be seen by the public the leaders are doing. There's a time you can make a decision that we are going to remove the sitting president, but he ends up being re-elected. Why? Because the people have made their decision on the ballot, to me. And to that extent, what you can term to be maturity of the electorates, to me, it is not, it cannot be seen or decided that this is now the maturity of the people or these people are immature. No. The electorates will always work out according to the outcome, not in the process of campaigns or the process of mere promises, or now by look of things that now I'm contented that these people are now mature in terms of democracy. These people are immature. It doesn't work out that way. Even you find out that there's no term for maturity that because I voted for these people, I'm mature. Because I voted for those people, I'm not mature. No, it doesn't work out that way in a democratic space. Makubura, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. Allow me to give this opportunity to Mr. Barak to give us his final remarks and anything that he might have observed over the day and he wants to either give or to speak about. Mr. Barak, and then Miguda will pick up from Barak.
Thank you, Bonamark and Miguda. Ben has already left. And thanks all to all those who join us in the comment section. And I agree with what Gypsy Kona is saying, that our political is well mastered. We know the outcome without voting. Yeah, that is what we are talking about. So in terms of political maturity, but we still have a long way to go. So thank you. I think the long holiday ends today. So from tomorrow, we will be back to business as usual. So mambo inaweza badilika hapa na pale, but we'll stick together as much as we can. But I know things are going to start now going back to being hectic, but tuko pamoja. So asanteni sana. Have a blessed night wherever you are. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barak. Miguda.
Okay, just want to appreciate our people who have come to the show. I want to appreciate Goodyear Dash 222. I want to appreciate Judith Karita, the last woman standing, or the last girl standing. I want to appreciate Torasa. I think I've never, that's a new person. I want to appreciate Erika Yaga. Erika Yaga, now it's high time come and explain to us the spiritual part of it, why Raila was buried and the main things. We will give you time. I think I saw Gitonga from my end. We appreciate you. We really like you when you come to our show and also give us audience. We don't take it for granted. Marco Bura, thank you for hosting us tonight. Marco Barak, Benson. Until tomorrow, when we will be in our usual journey, we just want to say happy Shujaa to the late former Prime Minister, Right Honorable CGH, Baba, Raila Odinga. Till we meet again. Marco Bura, see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Allow me to also acknowledge our viewers. Goodyear. Thank you so much, Goodyear. We really appreciate. May God bless you. Judith Karita, Sante Sana, Gen Z 001. for your consistency and always being there for us. Thank you so much. We really appreciate. Our good friend Douglas Kibogong, who is also my brother. Thank you so much for finding time to join the show today. We've missed you. I hope that you're doing good. Thank you so much, na Mungu akubariki mahali ulipo. To our good friend Tarosa, thank you so much for also finding time to join us. We really appreciate, and may God bless you big time. I saw a good friend Eric Ayaga, the Nairobian, also a young man full of knowledge and tradition and culture. Thank you so much, Eric, for always being there and finding time to be with us. We really appreciate. I saw a good friend and Asili 2 TV, also a good friend who has always been here with us, and he has always commented and given us his take. To our good friend Ani, thank you so much, Ani. Thank you for also finding time. It's been long. Thank you for finding time to always join us and to give us your take. We really appreciate. There was also Caroline. Caroline, thank you so much. We really appreciate as well for finding time to be with us. We don't take it for granted. Tunashukuru sana. To our good friend Kennedy Sankara, thank you so much for also finding time to join us. Kura kwa Lucy, asante sana. Thank you so much for also finding time to be with us. John Ogada, asante sana for finding time. Ento Okate, thank you so much for finding time. We really appreciate, and may God bless you so much. We say thank you and may God bless each and every one of you. I now want to take this opportunity to wish you all, of course, a blessed evening. Before I do so, allow me once again to send my condolences or the condolences of the channel to the family of the late Baba, CGH, Tinga, Aguambo, Enigma, and all those nice names that he was given by the people of Kenya. That may his soul rest in peace, and may the Almighty God be and bless his entire family. And to the people of Kenya, may God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit also strengthen and bless each and every Kenyan. And may God give us the grace to always be positive and to always strive for success. I'm now taking this opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us from. May God bless you. See you again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.